Heavy rain.
This weather scope is sponsored by the all-new Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better.
This is Weather Scope.
Thanks for joining us this evening. Jill Brown and Rich Johnson with you. At the end of the snowy day, it's now a rainy evening in Boston, and it looks like a lot of other folks are going to see a similar changeover.
And tonight in Boston, Jill, it looks like the temperature's actually going to go up. Not too many nights we see that, but the warm air is coming in ahead of the storm. Farther to the south, not looking at the storm, so to speak, with the low pressure center out ahead of the cold front. We saw severe weather in Grove City. In fact, as the storm was coming on in the past day, there were some very heavy amounts of rain. And essentially what we're looking at here is some tornado damage which ripped through the Indigo Mobile Home Park in Grove City. Northward to Boston, and we've seen some snow today in Boston. Some of the suburbs saw pretty heavy accumulation, just the way it usually works. North and west of town, about 3 to 6 inches. Tonight's temps into the 30s presently. It may warm up into the 40s tonight as warm air surges in from the southwest and off of the water. This is the way it's looking now. Low pressure center with flood warning out at Lancaster County, Amish country. About 1 to 2 inches of rain. There's been many locations, 1 to 2 inches of rain. Down to Baltimore, D.C., both at Dulles as well as the national record rain for this date. And over to Burlington, I was talking with Colin Marquis, one of our meteorologists here, and he looked at the record and he said, why didn't they wait? It's a tie of the record for the monthly precipitation at Burlington. It's going on now. 5-10 minutes later, the record would be broken. So I suspect the new record is out by now. Well, it is snowing heavily up into the mountains. The skiers loving this. Perfect timing for the weekend. Some of the areas may mix over sleet or freezing rain, but some areas farther to the north will stay all snow. Mild evening around Philly, 47 degrees. The rain coming down, heavy rain in New York City. You are looking at just a mild evening with that warm air surging up ahead of the front. Heaviest of the moisture under the yellow here. And essentially what we're looking at, the satellite picture color codes these pictures here. So the brighter the colors, essentially, the higher the cloud tops. And this way, this correlates well with the most vigorous and tallest building clouds. So usually that is where we find the heaviest rain, and that's working out very nicely tonight. We do have some showers still back in central Pennsylvania, sort of wet along the Philadelphia all the way over to Pittsburgh, right over to Harrisburg. So generally wet, but up 95. It's coming down quite a bit heavier, Philadelphia to New York, and that's where the heaviest rain is. You can see over to Long Island, it is pouring. The LIE is very wet this evening. If you're heading down for a show tonight, you need the umbrella, the rain gear. It is just not going to be a nice night to be out. Heavier snow falling well to the north, as Jill mentioned earlier. Over to Boston has changed over to rain, but out toward Providence, seeing some rain still. It was snow earlier, but this whole turnover coming in as the moisture and the warm air lifts northward. Over to Savannah and I believe Charleston, both record rain for today as well. So heavy rain in the eastern Carolinas. Thunderstorms earlier today in Florida were severe, but today, or I should say this evening, much weaker thunder showers. A few of those in southern Osceola County and Okeechobee County. With more about the West and Midwest, here's Jill.
Okay, thanks, Rich. We'll take you to the far west first, where the countdown to kickoff is on. Final preparations are underway for Super Bowl 30 in San Diego. There's lots of high stepping going on as high school bands and dancers rehearse for the halftime show. And here at the Weather Channel, we're also getting ready for the big showdown between the Packers and the Broncos. Starting tonight at 8 Eastern Time, we'll bring you live reports from San Diego, so stay tuned. You can live vicariously through Bill Keneally. All right, we'll take you to the Midwest and then to the West, and we'll check your forecast for the weekend as well. Stick with me for the next 3 minutes and you'll see it all. We do have a weak area of low pressure that's developed here, a little bit of cloud cover with it, and a little bit of snow too. Just about slipped south of Minneapolis is still reporting some snow flurries. 6 miles visibility. When the visibility goes up, you know that the snow is pretty light. So you shouldn't have any problems on 35 or 94. No big deal through here. Sort of a typically cold night. Actually warmer than normal in Minneapolis at 28, and within a couple of days we're going to see temperatures peaking in the 30s for afternoon high. So we're going to keep our mild winter going through here. If you're a snow lover, there's not going to be much for you to play with here. This low zips on by. We'll see just very light accumulation. Heavier snow, of course, is in New England and also here in the Cascades of Washington at 3,000 feet. This big band of moisture is swinging in, and that's going to mean some clouds for California. Down to San Diego, obviously sun shining this afternoon. This front may bring a few sprinkles down as far south as San Francisco tomorrow, but folks down around LA to Santa Barbara to San Diego shouldn't be bothered by this system. It's a pretty potent one. Brings in a lot of rain. Look at this. Seattle to Portland's really soaking rains through here. We could easily see an inch or more. And also ahead of this, some very strong winds and heavy surf advisories are in effect. Gale warnings are also in effect. We've had some reports of wind gusts along the coast to 60 miles per hour or even a little bit higher than that. Once the front goes by, looks like there will be another surge of moisture tomorrow, and so we'll see things changing a little bit, maybe a little bit of a break before the next round of rain comes in. But over the next several days to come, it's more on than off in the rain category, and of course mountain snow as well. Temperature very nice this afternoon in Los Angeles, 72 degrees.